Welcome to, it might even be a new show, Steve, that we talk about the, Steve Fletcher, he's here with me in the offices of FletchBet, the ivory tower that it is, and we might have just, well, whenever we can anyway, talk about some of the betting moves from the weekend and what's happening, what's behind it, and some lessons that people could probably learn from how you approach it, some of the things that go into your system, some of the things that don't go into your systems that people can learn and pick up from. Is that okay with you?
That's fine.
You're happy to share your knowledge?
If you want to, yeah, why not?
You hate doing these things, don't you?
Yeah, well, it might be useful.
You're loving it, don't you?
No, I don't mind.
Loving it. All right, okay. First and foremost, good look at Sydney and Melbourne, just some of the highlights. First Seal versus Hollow was an interesting race. I know you were on the radio on Saturday morning saying First Seal was the horse you wanted to lay across the country.
Yep.
First, just to recap on that, what was the reasoning behind that?
Just thought it was a ridiculous price against those horses. There was, I think there was 4 that we had in front of it.
Yep.
And we actually had Holler on top, so that was a really good race for us.
Yeah, and the way that the betting went, it looked like that the money did come from Holler, which I'd imagine was probably started by you, and First Seal was coming out, and then by the end of the betting, they'd sort of, it was like they were in a race against themselves, that First Seal was coming back in and Holler was getting back out again.
The real money was all for First Seal.
Yep.
And Criterion, which was a bit surprising, but a lot of smart money for Criterion. I think they were taking, I think they hit $10, they'll take $8, $8.50 at the end for whatever they could get. First Seal, they just wanted to be, I think it was 320 into 280. Holler was steady around the 750 mark, touched $8. We might have taken that, I think, and back into 750. But no, First Seal was probably the best backed horse all day.
So you're sitting here and you're betting away and all that, and I mean, I know, I suppose, with mere mortals who are betting and they're looking at the fluctuations and respecting the SP and respecting the marketplace, when you're one of the major factors in it, how do you look at that from your point of view, and do you think, okay, we're on the wrong league here, or are you always supremely confident that you're right? The fact that you have so much control in the market as it is.
So do you mean when do we bet?
No, but what's your mindset? I know, because a lot of...
Well, that race is, they're very exposed form. We had high confidence on that race. It wasn't like a Jim Craig Stakes where there's barrier trials only. So no, we're happy to launch into that race heavily. So
in other words, so the respect for the marketplace probably isn't as much coming from here as it is from other people who need to respect the marketplace and see what's happening.
Big syndicates were unloading on Criterion. I know that. Like very smart syndicates. So I respect that. First Seal I just didn't respect. I didn't care who backed.
So it didn't matter. You just say, we've got our opinion, we're locked into it.
And through First Seal,
whoever wants to can be on, and we're going to back ourselves to be right and stand firm.
Yep.
What's your success rate with that?
Well, I'm still going. So
yeah, I know. But you're going to get some of them wrong.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. So, well, that was a good race.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that one.
Yeah. All right. Lovely. All right. Perfect. All right. Yeah. We've spoken about that, but that was how it is. When the money from those big syndicates come from Criterion, are you looking to chop out on that as well too?
Definitely.
Perfect. All right. So you will follow the market if it's the right signs.
If we don't hate the horse totally, was a little bit neutral on Criterion, but that tipped me into it a little bit.
All right.
It would have been a winning result if Criterion won. The other two, Holler and Criterion, were good. First Seal was the disaster, and then small loss Malachi, small loss Kermadec. And the others were no hope anyway.
Obviously the highest profile horse going down on the double, I suppose it was shorter price in... was there much betting in the 2-year-old race? I know Calliope came out at the barriers, and of course, what's his name? I forgot his name. Not Defcon, it's by Capitalist. Both, he was a long odds on favourite. Was there much action? It didn't. Being in the ring, there didn't seem to be a lot going on. It was just a bit of a standoff.
There was a lot on Capitalist.
Yeah.
There was, I backed Capitalist in Queensland with the Unitab.
Yeah.
They got the money there. Good on them.
Yeah. They'll probably bar you because you probably took a cent better than the right price.
No, they don't bar. They're all right. First race, all the smarties were on Calliope.
Yeah.
And it looks like I'd say they would have been right. The favourite went pretty ordinary, so
caught up.
I probably would have. I'd say I probably would have got home if it didn't play up.
Press statement. Probably, as I was saying, the highest profile defeat of the day. 2's on or thereabouts, a little bit. It did get to that. What was the take on that?
All the money's for press statement.
There was a lot of big players on press statement, wasn't there?
Nothing back to beat it. Not one horse.
Yeah, so a lot of the bigger syndicates have done their...
All come up with press statement. And happy to take the 145.
Oh, so a real bookies race there.
Oh, absolutely. That was the day.
And then we finished the day with an interesting couple of things, and we'll talk about this in relation to Extravagant as well too. Speak Fondly ended up being one of the best back runners of the day. And then
I did say First Seal was the best back run of the day, but market-wise, Speak Fondly would have been.
Yeah, but then Flashing Speed in the last as well.
They were the two, yeah.
I want to ask you about Flashing Speed and get a bit of an insight into how the programs work. Obviously, you know, the big joints like or the big punting joints like yourself have got, you know, your programs that spit out numbers and spit out things. A lot of the factors in that are trainer stats and jockey stats. Lately, we've seen Anthony Cummings going well.
Yeah.
Flashing Speed was that, and I think most people were surprised to see the price that it started. Even you, I think you've rated it. You had it on top, but you rated
$650, was it?
Something like that.
No, they were taking, I think, $420 at the end.
And SP $380, $390, I think. Yeah.
And what was the top fuck on here? $550, was it?
Well, it opened up short and just kept getting shorter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So does
I respected that more than Speak Fondly. Out of the two well backed, I think the Anthony Cummings, when the money's on, and it's continual and it keeps firming, they invariably run big races.
Does when a stable gets a run like that, do those stats become a bit of a self-fulfilling thing and maybe then get overreacted to by the computer programs if they're having a good run in the month? Does that
possibly?
Does that then over? I mean, what I'm saying is that does that then
they
say you and the others would be jumping on it, and maybe it's based on stats, which the models obviously win over time. But that may be a reason for people to understand that this is why this horse is getting back, because profit on turnover on those stables in the last month has been huge. So that then trims the price up a bit.
Yeah, the models will be adjusted to reflect that.
Yeah.
And if he starts going off, they'll drop off as well.
Come back as well. But that just so people understand that what may or may not cause reactions in the marketplace. Yeah. That is a big causer of a reaction in the marketplace, isn't it? Going to Melbourne, and this is one thing that I want to talk to you about too, is that obviously from our point of view, from what I do with Glenn, and that mounting yard has been such an important thing. It's not something that really factors into your game all that much, is it? And it's where probably, again, you can probably get still a little bit of an edge with the big joints, not really factoring in what has happened in the yard all that much.
I'd be good to, but just time constraints, you don't have time to say.
I mean, because essentially you're betting everywhere, aren't you?
Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10 long.
Yeah.
You're just going to run out of time, so you just can't do it.
Again, that's factored into your things. Extravagant paraded like he was going to die. Apparently, English was the same in Sydney, but she got away with it. And Brett Statement didn't actually parade great itself too. So they're sort of things that that just don't come into the thinking. But again, the modelling takes care of it. Well, the ones you get, good.
Well, you just have to all that you've just said. The English. If we had that information on English, we wouldn't have been on it.
Yeah.
And if we had the information extremely, we wouldn't have been on it. So it sounds like they cancel out there. But I guess if it's a noticeable distress state, they're going to be good to have that.
Beautiful. But I mean, again, for the people out there, it is an edge that isn't factored in. That if you've got a skill at it, or you've got a great set like Pro Better Live or Glenn Pollott's mounting our mail, or Warren Huntley's, that you can get a little bit of an edge to.
Yeah.
Malaguira was one of your was a good winning race for you for your set in Melbourne.
Yep.
Became one of the better back runners of the day.
Apart from Extravagant, I think it was the best back run of the day. Yeah.
And did the job. And what was the sort of the behind that betting there? What was the go there?
I think it was again just all the same robots come up with the same horse.
Yep.
480 to 440 was it? I think they all came up around the $4 $3.80 mark on the market. So everyone was happy to be on right down.
How important? Like, I mean, I think did you rate it in your set 460? How focused are you on? If you got it rated 460, does it have to be 460, or are you flexible with that?
No, we're flexible.
Yeah.
You know, like I said before, during the day we take into a few other factors like whether or not the right money's on at the right time.
Yep.
So, for instance, that Flashing Speed in the last, I would have respected. Flashing Speed. We would have respected that a lot more and probably taken the slight unders.
Yep.
When it was so fancy.
And what sort of variance? Just say you rated it at $4 to 1 or $5. $4, is that too short for it?
That's a bit short.
Yeah, okay.
440.
Yeah, okay. So it's working in.
Yeah.
What, two rolls on the old?
Maybe three.
Three rolls. Yeah, on the old.
Yeah.
Would you prefer fractional odds?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah. Favourite tennis player?
Yeah. Yes.
Henri Lecard or something like that. Yeah. Everything for the 80s. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, secretaries come in, and we'll just wrap up. Devam was one of your better players of the day.
Yes.
And $3, I suppose. You rated it evens, and $3 was probably soft in the market for it.
It was a bit soft. That panicked me a little bit, but we were still on it, obviously, and it just didn't let down like we thought it would. We thought it was home at the 250, but anyway, you can't carry them. So
no, exactly.
They all can't win.
Well, what you can do is carry the punter Stephen. It's been a hugely successful set from the duration, and it's a huge day for anybody doubling up. We've got Manning Mile, obviously the double up Sydney and Melbourne, because this and Epsom Day are the two biggest Sydney combined Melbourne days of the year. You've got Australian Cup Day combined with the start of the Rosehall Golden Slipper Festival, and what better way to do it than get your service for $99, race by race. Sydney, after they jump in the previous race, will come through for the next. Same with Melbourne, so you'll know what the horses that are going to be backed in seriously, and more than likely you're going to be probably winning a winning set, because that's all they are.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, we'll jump on board. Thank you, Steve, and we'll do this every couple of weeks.
Yeah, no problem.
Good work. Thank you.